My name is Kofi Azome. I'm with KLT Group. This presentation is about retrofitting of a single-family home to meet flood, wind, and seismic hazard effect in Tybee Island, Georgia. The objective of the project is to take an old single residential house on Tybee Island, Georgia, and through structural mitigation, bring up the house to meet the current building code and then make it capable of withstanding hazards such as high wind, rain, hurricane, and earthquake. Through the mitigation as well, we'll provide best practices to actually go above and beyond the current building code. This is the picture of the single family home that we chose for the project. The building is a single-story residential cottage home built in 1965 and renovated in 1985, hence does not meet the current building code. It is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath on a 1,147 built footprint with a total of 60 by 79 property land. The building is constructed on concrete slab on grade foundation. The walls are constructed in CMU block, and the interior structural columns are made of wood. The exterior cladding is composed of wood, glass window, and glass bay at the front porch. The roof is composed of shingle, and the interior is constructed in hardwood floor and gypsum board partition. The house is located at 910 Miller Avenue, Tybee Island, Georgia 31328, Chatham County, in the flood zone of AE with a latitude of 32.0025 and a longitude of negative 80.8482. And the ground elevation is 5.7 feet.
Hi everyone, my name is Liz Ellis and I'm with the KLT Group. I want to go over some of the definition of hazards for our project home on Tybee Island. Our group will be looking at flood, wind/hurricane, and seismic hazards. Flood hazards. This particular project is in a zone AE. It's at a very high risk area. So not only do we have the Atlantic Ocean that provides these surges during a storm, but the project is surrounded by 3 tributaries. So if we have enough rainfall that comes in on the back end, we have backflow that comes in. So we have water in all directions. Very high risk for this particular project. Another hazard is wind/hurricanes. This home obviously is on the southeastern side of the United States, which we are very prone to hurricanes and tropical storms. Being so close to the coast, this home is in a direct path of a hurricane. Seismic. Now you may automatically start thinking, well, it's Georgia. How many earthquakes do you guys get? Well, since 1974, there has been a recording of like 3 dozen earthquakes with on a Richter scale magnitude of 2.5. At one point, there was a earthquake so strong that it was able to crack the base of the Tybee Island lighthouse, and these walls are 6 foot deep. So this is a hazard that we do need to look at. Also, I just want to kind of go over some of the building code requirements for this project. We will be looking at, obviously, the IRC, IBC, and also as the NFIP flood zones, and then the flood elevation levels. But also, we'll particularly be looking at the Georgia State minimum standard for 1 and 2 family dwelling codes. This could be in a historic district, so this is very important.
Retrofitting our project home, there's 3 key things that we're going to do. We're going to elevate the home to where the elevation is at 12 feet. We're going to install a asphalt shingle roof and then we are going to replace all the doors and windows. And in doing that, we will utilize hurricane-rated straps connecting the roof with the walls of the home, completing a load path. And then we're also going to have to relocate all the mechanical and electrical systems to where they are above the lowest floor. Here we have a typical example of a raised single-story family home where they've gone in, jacked the home up, supported it with I-beams, poured new footings and a new foundation wall in order to get the home's lowest floor at the desired elevation. In addition to elevating the house, we'll also be installing doors and windows, which will be in compliance with Section R 613.3 of the IRC. The doors, we'll replace the front door and it will be a swing-out door. The windows will be able to withstand 3-second wind gusts of 140 miles per hour. And also on the windows, we're going to install 3/4-inch shutters. We're going to replace the roof, and we're going to install a asphalt shingle roof, which will be compliant with Section R905 of the IRC. A few interesting things that we learned along the way. The city of Tybee has a 50-50 rule, as they call it, which basically states that any improvements to a home that increase the fair market value by 50% or more, if that home is not located 1 foot above base flood elevation, then it has to be elevated to that. Also, the city of Tybee has a requirement that all building materials are domestic, and that it requires special written permission to import any materials. And one of the other things that I think all three of us found really interesting was the amount of damage to a home that can be done by wind, as we all saw in the videos, I think, in weeks 2.